Welcome to Argentina, to the third biggest city, Rosario. Welcome to the 35th edition of the Dakar Rally. Rosario is a city of Che Guevara and Lionel Messi, and it hosts the Dakar for the very first time in tropical conditions. Well over 9,000 kilometres will have to be raced and endured, 13 stages in total, 6 that head southwest, before moving north to Salta for the rest day. To win in Valparaiso, Cyril Dupre will have to face one of the most competitive entry lists in the history of the Dakar. We can do it from this first year. It will be huge. Back from the injury that forced his late withdrawal last year and atop the list of challengers for 2014 is Mark Coma, and this time he's here to claim his place as the undisputed leader of the KTM charge. With 4 riders, we don't have any team orders. That means the race will be very open and we'll have to attack from the start. Chaleco Lopez finished on the podium last year. For 2014, nothing less than a win for his people will satisfy the Chilean. And the Honda lineup is impressive this year. So is the revamped CRF 450. The team is packed full of talent and men with points to prove. In the cars, Peter Hansel is the man to beat. After clinching an 11th title last year, his 5th in a car, Mr. Dakar returns and is just as hungry for a 12th crown. A 12th title would be great. It would be faultless. 12 out of 25 would mean close to 50% success. It would be great, but it's far from done. 2013 was a year to forget for Nasser Al-Attiyah. Forced to quit in his buggy, he's back, and this time he's in a Mini.
Everybody wants to win Dakar, and this is my plan to win 2014.
A new project as well for 2010 winner Carlos Sainz. In an SMG buggy, he could well have the car to win again. A new race, a new challenge. I like that. And Giniel de Villiers will want to go one step higher after second spot last year. It was a victory in just 3 years of driving for Edouard Nikolov last year as he turned the Kamaz back into a winner. He'll be under huge pressure for the win from last year's unluckiest man, Gerard de Roy, who's back for revenge. Day 1 was a great introduction to Argentina, with fast paths taking the race from Rosario to San Luis. The first man to make an impact was Bam Bam himself, Juan Boreda. Speed first, crash second. But he has the speed of last year on a fast, purpose-built Honda, and he was the first stage winner by 37 seconds from Mark Coma. Cyril Dupre was 1 minute further back in third despite a few navigation wobbles. The new Yamaha has got pace and he will be in the hunt with the bike designed to give him what he needs to win the Dakar.
De María en la victoria de Cyril Dupre.
After clinching his 5th win on the Dakar last year, Dupre left KTM to go to Yamaha for 2014. The French rider was looking for a new challenge, and in facing off against the might of Austria, he certainly has one. It was a split-second decision. I needed to see if I could do something good with another technical team, another bike, more precisely, a 450 YZF. I thought this challenge would be interesting. You have to go step by step. I've worked hard physically. You need to have a good team and a good bike, and I think we have both. You really have to deserve to win a Dakar, so if I achieved to do it once again, to clinch a 6th victory would be a bonus. But for now, we have to be very dedicated to our work, because the way to Valparaiso is very long. The winner of the first South American Dakar in 2009, 3rd in 2011 and 2012, Giniel de Villiers finished on the 2nd step of the podium last year. The South African is of course hoping to go one step higher. He was 3rd away on the opening day and running strongly in the Hilux. But things went wrong at kilometre 60. Mechanical problems on his Toyota. De Villiers was forced to stop for over 5 minutes to repair power steering issues before eventually sorting it and taking off again. At the end of the day, he'd lost 15 minutes on the day's winner. For Carlos Sainz, the opening day wasn't the kind of stage the Spaniard enjoys in a two-wheel drive buggy. Still, El Matador gave quite the performance, finishing ahead of Peter Hansel and 3:15 behind Nasser Al-Attiyah. But at the finish, one man was really not happy with King Carlos. Roma spent 70k stuck in the wheel tracks of Sainz, and he was understandably annoyed that he hadn't been given room to pass. The man of the first day was to be Carlos Sousa, the Portuguese who's an impressive record of having always finished in the top 10 since 2001, clocked the fastest time of the opening stage. Quite a performance in his new Haval. Sousa only just beat local hero Orlando Terranova by 11 seconds. All that despite air conditioning and cooling problems in his Chinese car. It didn't start well for Guerlain Chicherit in the EVR buggy. Heat got the best of the fuel system and stranded the enigmatic Frenchman.
Un problème de pression d'essence.
We have a fuel pressure problem.
On a de l'essence,
We've got 50 litres left, so it isn't a fuel problem. The issue is pressure. Maybe the pump is dead. I don't know. A serious issue for the Frenchman, but he could count on the help of the Argentinian crowd, who are already getting into the spirit of the Dakar. That, of course, didn't prevent him from losing over an hour. Same heat, almost the same problem for Robbie Gordon in his new Gordini. Vapor lock made the Americans' day a real nightmare.
Left side of the car, it's going to follow the power steering lines. It's going to come up along the side. It happened 5 or 6 times, and 2 hours and 8 minutes. I'm pretty confident we'll go back to what we had on the Hummer and we'll be okay.
On day 2 of the bikes, we headed southwest and cut away from the cars for 724 k's of flat-out riding. The sand began on day 2. It has soft areas that disappear under wheels and everlasting dunes that stretch to the sky, but it was neither of those that caught out Mark Comer. A stone struck the KTM down, lodging somewhere between the clutch and the engine, and it had to be removed alone in the dunes, costing Comer over 8 minutes in repair time. For Depre and Yamaha, it was a day to forget. Slow at the start, he played it safe with his Yamaha's engine before the big moment. A crash at the top of the dune rocked the defending champ, and he lost time hand over fist as he nursed himself towards the finish line that was still over an hour away. I hit my head and started seeing stars. But the worst thing is that I burst my camelback, and I had to ride the last 100 k's without water. So I'm pretty thirsty right now. The stage win, that went to Sam Sunderland, the first British winner of the Dakar in 15 years. On only his 3rd ever completed stage, he moved up to 3rd in the standings. The cars took a longer loop on day 2, skirting an extra mountain base on the way to San Rafael. There was drama early on. Small problems in the Haval on day 1 became big ones for Sousa at kilometre 33, who was forced to stop because of a broken turbo. We broke the turbo after 30 k's, oil started leaking. We're waiting to take a decision. Either we go back to repair and we'll be given a maximum time penalty, or we can carry on and take the risks of breaking the engine in the dunes with no turbo. So we're waiting. Day 2 was going to be much more like it for Carlos Sainz, especially in the second sandy part of the stage. His argument with Nani Roma was long forgotten as the Spaniard took his SMG buggy to a fine 2nd spot. The man of the day was Monsieur Dakar himself, Stefan Peter Hansel. 6th to start, Peter made the best of his navigational skills to clock the fastest time on the day. A 60-second stage success for the Frenchman, both on bike and in a car, and by doing so, Peter Hansel leapt to the top of the leaderboard. Overall leader after winning stage 1, Ariat Mardayev had all the pressure on his shoulders, especially with Gerard Deroy chasing, but at kilometre 313 it all went wrong. A real nightmare for Arat Mardeyev, but also for other privateers who attempted the ravine.
Oh, we're supposed to go through there?
Yes, and then follow this, the Rio, and then you're there.
Despite the help of other competitors, there wasn't much that could be done. Eventually, the Kamaz assistance truck came in handy. But it was to be a night to be forgotten for Mardeyev. The truck, too badly damaged, and his Dakar is over. The first part of the marathon bike stage was modified after heavy rain made parts of the original route impassable. The beginning of the marathon on day 3 was both long and a day when experience counted for almost everything. Coma needed to use all of his. Speed wasn't the key. The cool-headed Catalan continued to bide his time in the first week. Marathon was the correct title for stage 3. Depre too showed his class and no apparent side effects from his crash and subsequent dehydration of day 2. It was a day for the old hands and the Yamaha rider was on song, second fastest to the San Juan bivouac. There was no stopping Bereda, however. Navigation dunes flat outpaced. The Honda rider really was on top of the world as he crested the summit of Mount Pircas at 4,366 metres, a new special stage record in the Dakar. Bereda may well be the complete package in 2014.